So everybody, we have a returning guest. You know, we had so much fun the last time, and we're gonna have fun this time. Everybody, let's welcome in Wanda D and her husband Eric Floyd.
Welcome.
Glad to be back. We're glad to be back.
Yes, yes. Now, I read that you are going on a 2024 tour.
Ooh.
Yes,
we are.
Now, that's overseas, right?
Yes, that's always where it starts.
Tell us about it.
Well, I'll start it off.
Okay. Not all at once. Not all at once.
We have, in the last 38 years, probably been to 48 U.S. states, 150 global cities in 90 countries on 6 continents. However, what makes this tour so interesting is that there's some countries we're hitting we've never been to before, like Scotland, Bulgaria.
Right.
And our first stop, we have 2 stadiums to do in Slovakia and then Slovenia.
Spell that.
Yeah. Slovakia, Slovenia. I believe our former first lady, Donald Trump's wife, I think she's from Slovenia.
Right.
Right. I'll look up her family tree, see who's swinging in it. Melania.
Because what happened, I recently saw a clip on YouTube, and basically what it was is you guys were rocking out the stage, and so not everybody has an opportunity to rock out, to see that many people at one time rocking out to what you do. What does that feel like?
It feels like invigorating.
Yeah, like a night in our bedroom.
Yeah.
The people, all the instruments, the energy,
the stroking.
Why don't you describe it, Wanda?
It's like nothing you've ever experienced. We released the songs and they went platinum in 77 countries, and we sold over 35 million copies worldwide. So when you go over there and just see the people just having a ball and all the energy that we give out to them, they give back to us. It's like we're playing volleyball and tennis, and we throw that energy out, they throw it back, and all that love is just it's such a blessing. It really is.
And the beauty of it is you get to do it with your best friend. Wanda and I have been together for 43 years and married for 41 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got to travel the world.
Beautiful. That's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you. We've gotten to travel the world and discover it together. And there's no greater blessing than that. And, I'll be 58 in June.
And I'll be 61 in April.
And
I found some wood.
We are in perfect health.
Now close your legs.
Thank you. We're in perfect health. I mean, no medications, no diabetes, no heart disease, no high blood pressure, no hypertension. We're very, very blessed. We just, under 40 years old, we were young people. We said, how we treat our bodies up to age 40 will decide how our bodies treat us after 40, whether it's a crash and burn or a nice, slow, gradual landing.
So we gave up the domino sugar.
We never drank.
Tang, all that
we
stuff.
never drank alcohol. We never smoked.
And never did drugs.
And we never did drugs. And it has paid off, because a lot of our peers and contemporaries aren't in as good a shape as we are both senior citizens right now.
I feel like performers like you and performers like your peers are different from some of the performers that we see now. You guys are like ripping and running on stage and entertaining, actually entertaining. When you look at some of the performers now, how do you feel about that?
Are you asking us to judge them?
I'm asking you for your opinion.
Yeah,
I got it. You got it. Okay.
well, I have no comment on that.
You know, Beauty and the Beast here. She's got no comment. I
No.
got plenty to say.
No.
No one tuned into this podcast to see you say no comment. Come on now.
I don't want to judge.
It's not about judging. You have been in the business since 1977.
Wow.
Hip hop's first female DJ.
Wow.
You're the
Yes,
first
she is.
female rapper to platinum.
Talk
You're the
about
first female inductee into the Universal Zulu Nation.
There you go.
Amen.
Okay. You came out, when you were spinning records, there was nobody else with a vagina doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you can speak from a place of authority because you're the only
Absolutely.
artist in entertainment history to have graduated from DJ to platinum selling rapper to multi-platinum singer who sings in 7
Talk about
languages. Now,
it.
who the hell has done
That
that?
is
Yo, can we get a clap
Wow.
for Wanda D
Talk
out here?
about
Can
it.
we get a
Oh, yeah.
And can we also get a clap for her humbleness?
Okay.
We
Thank
love
you.
that.
absolutely?
Wanda thinks that I, me, and my are the 3 most unimportant words in the English language, and I agree with her. But of course, there are opinions. I used to tour with legends like Lena Horne and
Mhm.
Eartha Kitt, Shirley Bassey, and Sammy Davis Jr., Cab Calloway. These people never needed auto-tune on their mics, either in the studio or on stage. Now there's both available.
Mhm.
Anybody with auto, Donald Trump can make a hit record if he chose to do the auto-tune. He'd be right in key.
Yeah. That's
There
a
you go.
They built
On the
Anybody.
microphone.
the microphones now.
However,
Yeah.
of course, there has been a degeneration of the quality of entertainment,
Mhm.
and that's not a good thing. Back in the
Right.
day, the people we used to watch on TV, whether it was the Sonny and Cher show, the Melba Moore and Clifton Davis show, or any of the variety shows, Lola Falana, Diana Ross's amazing variety shows. These people had real talent that went beyond twerking.
okay.
Now that I don't like.
Okay? And so for us to find mediocrity as greatness and call everybody with a vagina a diva, and everybody's an icon who's been in the business for 4 years, not even long enough for God to get the news, is ridiculous.
Mhm.
You don't even get to be called an icon unless you've been in the business at least 40 years. At least 40.
Absolutely.
You're not an icon.
Right.
And a legend is a map.
A roadmap.
A roadmap. That's what the word legend means. It means that if I need to get somewhere, please pass me the legend so I can see where we're going. A legend shows you how to get from point A to B to Z to D to Z.
They're trendsetters.
So to call someone a legend who's been in the business for
Mhm.
10 years, it doesn't matter how many records you've sold. You have to show endurance, longevity. Someone who's been around since the 70s and the 80s, the 90s.
So basically,
So just knowing your seasoning in the industry and your status in the industry and your years of experience in the industry, we've been talking a lot lately about things that have gone on recently in the industry. I want to know, do y'all have any insights or just an opinion, possibly about, let's say, all these things that have been brought up by Mr. Cat Williams?
Cat Williams?
Yeah, things of that nature.
Copycat syndrome.
Yeah,
Stealing other people's
because
material.
y'all in it, y'all know people, y'all in there, like what?
Well, okay, listen, no dead air here.
Right. It's just,
Yes, I mean, obviously, and not just in entertainment, but in
Right.
every industry. Some people say selling your soul, but that's just too much of a blanket statement. It's more so about what you negotiate. Let's put it this way. In life, you get what you deserve. In business, you get what you negotiate. So, for instance, we know that Diana Ross and Berry Gordy were together. He was a married man, about 17 years older than her. She had his baby. Her first child, Rhonda Ross, is by Berry Gordy, the president of her label at the time, Motown. And whatever agreement they came to, because he was still married, they are still friends today. Nobody's ever missed a meal, and life goes on.
And she built a career by doing a lot of hard work.
Oh my God, she's one of the most talented
Yeah.
people that's ever picked up a microphone.
Mhm.
However, would you say she sold her soul because she was,
No.
can I say,
She is
she was a boss? But, who gives a rat? They agreed upon it as consenting adults.
That's right.
That wasn't a selling of her soul. So
Right.
yeah, you ever serve one or two factions in this industry, either serving the left or the right.
Mm.
And that simply means does your artistry inspire, motivate, and educate, titillate? Or does your artistry demean, dehumanize, and make people feel bad?
So let
And
me
you-
be more specific since you like specifics. What I
Yeah,
really, oh my goodness, I'm sorry about that.
You live
That's
right up
okay.
against the Pacific Ocean. It's right there.
We got a storm going.
I'm
Sorry
all
about
ears.
So
Okay.
I mean, basically, at the end of the day, so you basically are saying that you don't condone the stealing of art. In other words, if somebody, Wanda D, if you record a certain project, a certain song, right, and somebody else tries to because there's different in a way that's not paying homage to your recording, or in a way that is basically taking from you. How do you feel about that? Is that a no or a yes?
I don't think anybody should steal from anybody because your creative work is your property. That's your
intellectual property.
That's your intellectual property. That's your energy. It's your thoughts that you put down on paper and that you transfer it to recordings. And it's only but so many notes in music. There's 4 bars, there's 8 notes. And we all going to take a little bit of something to borrow from those 8 notes. So
Have y'all noticed the trend though? Have y'all noticed a trend lately with taking these old school or old
and remaking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that? And if somebody came to you and asked you, can we use your music? Is that okay? What you gonna say to them?
No, it's not okay. These artists work hard. Pay them for their work. If you're going to sample, then get permission first, and then work out a publishing deal so they can get the majority of what you sampled. And they're not supposed to get anything because once you sample somebody's original work, you have to pay them 400%.
Robin Thicke, Marvin Gaye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now.
Of course, that's how Wanda became the voice of the KLF. They started off by, without authorization, sampling her voice as the hook of 2 of their biggest records, well, became 2 of their biggest records. So we always say Wanda wasn't invited into the KLF. She was ignited into the KLF. Because I came into a club one night in DC. I thought I was going to get Wanda a gig there. And when I walked into the club, I heard, want to see you, want to see you, I want to see you sweat. I'm like, that's my wife's voice saying, I want to see you sweat on this techno beat. So I go to the DJ and say, hey, that's my wife, Wanda D's voice. It sounds amazing how you mixing it to that techno song. He said, I'm not mixing anything. It's right here in this single. I'm not single.
Wow.
So what you did about that, Eric? What you did? What happened?
It was so long ago, I faxed them when I got home at 4 a.m.
A fax machine.
Yeah, that's how long ago. It was 91.
Yeah.
I faxed them over in England and said, listen, you have taken my wife's voice and put it onto one of this new record. And no, I didn't. I said, you've taken my wife's voice and you've sampled it onto a record that I heard today, and that's not cool. And then they called me immediately because Clive Davis had told them they were trying to get a deal with Arista, BMG Records. And Clive Davis, as the president, said, I'm not signing to KLF until you make a settlement deal with Wanda D, because she's an American artist and a hip hop icon. So they were looking for me as much as I was looking for them. However, there was no social media. They couldn't go to Instagram or Facebook in 1991. They didn't exist. So when I called them, they said, Mr. Floyd, we were trying to find you. How are you?
Wow.
Listen, so far we've only got her on 2 records. I only knew about 1. I said, yes. I said, yeah, it's too many. He said, what do you want? I'm like, she has to star in the music videos. Not a problem. Oh, I want $100,000 up front for every single she's on. No, I said, I should have asked her $500.
I know, right?
I want a whole crew to go. I want a makeup person, a hair person, everyone to fly over there, first class. Not a problem. She's got to be co-publishing and co-writing because she wrote those songs.
Not a problem.
Because they couldn't get the deal with Arista till they settled with the goddess.
Right.
And so we got everything. And it wasn't not a problem. It wasn't a problem. So yeah, how do I feel about sampling? You know what? Everybody has borrowed from somebody.
Yeah.
Everybody inspires somebody. You know, without Josephine Baker, who was Diva Original, I mean, she's the first one to lay it down. There'd be no, Cheetah Rivera and Dinah Ross and Diane Carroll. Josephine Baker, the costume changes, the hair changes, the ponytail, the cats.
She created the ponytail, and she created makeup for Black women.
She did all that.
Wow.
All of that.
Wow.
1925.
Yes.
So yeah, it's okay to borrow from another artist. As we say, true artists never compete with each other. They inspire one another.
Because there are a lot of artists that there are a lot of people do pay for samples out here, obviously.
I almost thought he said people pay for sex.
I know, right?
Well, they do that too.
I was like, okay.
People pay for samples out here, but it's so sad to know that people are paying other people, not the one that created it. They're paying other people that for the sample, and that money never gets to the original artist that created that sound.
Exactly.
Well, you got to get your business in order. So do y'all have advice for up and coming musicians, artists, and anybody in that field as far as like things like that can happen, not having your business in order and possibly having something presented to you that is like, hey, why not? I'm gonna go with that. And it coming back to you later on, possibly, right? You have any advice?
Well, this business is 99.9% show and 1% business.
Opposite.
I'm sorry. 99.9% business, 1% show. So you have to get all of that taken care of behind the scenes first. And if it's not on the page, it's not going to be on the stage.
What about these artists that, because you have a lot of people that are, out there doing their thing, trying to do their thing, trying to make it. And that's all they want to do. Like, that's their biggest dream. And say, for instance, they get presented with an opportunity and they don't have things in place and they're in a rut. They're like, okay, yes, because this is what I want to do. What do you say they need or should have in place, or what the next step would be from there for them?
As a manager and a promoter and producer of both music and shows around the world, you have to find a mentor or a femtor to take you under their wing and bring you in the business.
Yeah.
If you're going to get brain surgery, you wouldn't just lay yourself down and start slicing into your own head, right? You get a neurologist and their respective team. Show business is hard to navigate by yourself, unless you maybe if you come from a pedigree showbiz family like Marlon and Sean Wayans had it good because look who their mentors were. Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon Wayans, they had already paved the trail for them. Dinah Ross, again, using her as an example, mentored in Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, you have to find a mentor or femtor that you can trust. It's difficult. It sounds easy to just utter from your lips, but someone must navigate you through this business. You can't do it by yourself. You're going to make a bunch of costly mistakes. You'll find out that it's not who you knew, but who you blew. And not who you know, but who you. Okay.
Not,
Whoa.
this business is about
Not who you knew, but who you screw. I mean, you want to avoid that whenever possible.
business is about building great relationships.
Exactly.
Because without them, you're not going to make it.
Right.
But you
No.
must go in with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Understand. Ask, grass, or cash.
Mhm.
Nobody gets there for free. You will pay a toll.
Yeah.
Now, either it's going to be in drugs, which is the grass part,
Mhm.
Oh,
Or
okay,
it's gonna
because
be
I was
cash.
like, what the grass? What's the grass?
or it's going to be in cash, meaning someone's going to say, we'll play your record, but pay us. You know, you pay to play. Or it's going to be an ass. And that's just the truth. Don't sugarcoat it any other way, whether you're actor, dancer, singer. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. I mean, I'll just leave the exceptions out of my mouth right now.
Right.
But let's just say if you are a fairly attractive female or male, you will be tested.
A lot.
So I'm sure some people watching right now have already been tested. And you cannot decide whether it's wrong or right for someone to get an opportunity by using something, you know, that they have within their physicality. I don't make judgments on those, but at least know going in so you're not broken and wounded and got the whole broken wing syndrome. That I never expected. I thought I could get past it. It's at every guidepost. Someone's going to look to get a pound of flesh or some cash, with very few exceptions.
Mhm.
Very few exceptions. Now let's take 2 seconds of silence and just let that sink in. Ass, grass, or cash. Let's just 2 seconds.
Mm.
Okay. So when you look at the top 1% of entertainers, let's say 600 people every day, they say come to LA to be a star, to get off the Greyhound buses. 600 a day is the average, they say.
And everybody wants to be a star.
Now, out of that 600%, or 600 people a day, I should say, 3% of them will become part of the elite, the A-listers. So what do they do different that everyone else didn't do or was unwilling to do?
I think
That's why
that,
if you put a bunch of superstars in one room together who don't even know each other, they
Right.
immediately take their hat off to each other because they know what it took
yeah.
for them to be in that top A-list percentage. They know it. And so even if they don't know each other, they embrace each other warmly and tightly because they know what it took to be among the top 3%, which means you make a living only doing entertainment. You don't have to be a waitress or a valet or any of that shit. Just entertainment. It's difficult. Let me touch on something that I think you guys were heading down that road, but we really never got there. This sisterhood in rap. You notice last year was called the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Right.
And a lot of these folks were all out there getting proclamations and declarations and all kind of, you know, celebrations and illuminations and elevations. And all those young ladies, from MC Light to MC Sharrock, hip hop's first female rapper, they know Wanda's number. No one
Right.
called.
Really?
They've always been that way. They don't include Wanda in any of the hip hop reindeer games.
Wow.
Ask yourself
Listen.
why.
But
How are you going to have hip hop's first female MC Sharrock, and not have his first female DJ right alongside her?
Right.
And James Monroe High School in the Bronx, the students came together, did their research, and they painted a mural in the Bronx in James Monroe High School in the cafeteria. They wanted to put the foundational 5 of hip hop on the wall. And you can Google it. In this mural, they have Kool Herc, the father of hip hop,
Mhm.
Afrika Bambaataa, the godfather of hip hop, Grandmaster Flash,
indeed.
MC Sharrock, hip hop's first female MC, and right next to her is Wanda D, hip hop's first female DJ. So the mere fact that those foundational 5 weren't a part of every celebration last year, you have to ask yourself why again. Now, we don't give a about it, actually.
I don't.
But
No,
the
but,
mere fact is that-
Eric, we, because everybody's not going to ask ourselves why. We want to ask y'all why, because everybody's not going to know why.
I'll tell you why. It's the same reason why Diana Ross never got a Grammy.
Hmm.
Your Grammys are voted on by your peers. And so many of Donna's peers said, well, she's wealthy. She had Berry Gordy. He's wealthy. She's got a fabulous career. She sold over 500 million records. That's probably more than any female who ever existed in the planet. And so they're like, we're not giving her no Grammy. So the Grammys that Dinah has are lifetime achievement Grammys that the organization gave to her, but her peers have never voted for her to get a Grammy. That's what they think about Wanda. She's still with her husband. She has a child. She's a mother. She tours all over the world. She sings in several languages. They're like, she's a self-made millionaire, probably one of the first in hip hop. So like, well, what do we care? And that's unfair. Why are you harshly judging her because she's had a successful life? But that's that insecure part that unfortunately a lot of our people have.
That was a thing about what I was talking about before about humbleness. Because Wanda, you are so very humble. Right. You are so, and that will be you'll receive what you're supposed to get from being humble on another level, right? But where we at and in this hip hop culture, it just seems like, putting yourself out there, and the opposite of that is what gets you to where you need to be, quote unquote, in the industry. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Just not like pushing it yourselves and putting yourself out there as like, look, I'm her.
Your work should speak for itself. Because you do your job right, the audience will catch on, and they will be your mouthpiece for you. They will support you for life. There's one thing about the social media thing, getting likes and all of this. I need all these likes, but they're not true fans.
They don't translate to ticket buyers.
No, they don't. They don't put asses in the seats.
Big time.
And those are the ones that count to me.
Exactly.
The fans, not how many likes I get on social media.
MTV last year did a special on 3 pioneer females of hip hop, and all they included was Kool Herc's sister, who they said was hip hop's first female concert promoter, MC Sharrock, who they said was hip hop's first female MC, and they said Wanda D, not only for being hip hop's first female DJ, but the first female rapper they said to bring the industry glam, because she was glamorous with furs and diamonds and of course the high heels.
Still is, girl.
Before Foxy Brown, MTV did it. And then, of course, there's some people who were arguing, well, Baby D from the Mercedes Ladies, she was hip hop's first female DJ. No, she wasn't. Because when they made the movie Beat Street, Harry Belafonte produced it. They came looking for hip hop's first female DJ. He was told by several heavy hitters who were going to be in the film, they said, hey, you got to go find Wanda D. And he called her, and he came to the Bronx to audition her for Beat Street.
In person.
And when she finished auditioning, he asked him,
I said, is there a part in the movie for a female DJ? He said, there is now.
There is now. He wasn't looking for Baby D. He wasn't looking for anybody but Wanda. So they can argue all the points all they want, but the history and herstory is on her side. And it's just not her style to say, I'm that bitch. She'll never do it. That's not her style.
No.
But the work does speak for itself. As we take off on, our 20th world tour?
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope more women, generally, not even to do with this industry, but just generally, I hope more women take from that and from you.
Because we support everybody.
What it's all about.
Everyone.
Yo, can we just say that again? 20th World Tour. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
I can't even applaud it enough. That's really an amazing accomplishment.
Some people don't get one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. And we're 2 senior citizens. We got AARP for crying out loud.
Listen, stop saying that. Y'all don't even look like senior citizens. I know you want the benefits, but just leave it alone.
Thank God we have our own teeth still.
All right.
But seriously, we're not saying that for self-aggrandizement.
No.
We simply said it because we want to lead by example. We support all of them. We've been to their concerts. We speak highly of them, but we also call a thing a thing.
Hey, look at for everybody out there that's listening and that's watching the show. I just want to make sure that Wanda D and Eric Floyd know how how blessed we are to have their presence here.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
Well,
thank
thank you. We're
Thank
honored
you.
to be here. Thank you.
Exactly.
and so what's in the future for Wanda D?
Twins.
How?
More money, more money, more money.
Immaculate conception.
Love that.
Well, we are writing a book
Yes,
this year.
my new album
That's
will be
true.
put out this year too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right before we hit the road on the 20th of February of this month.
Yeah.
So the first single will come out, which is Relax, and then the album will follow in the spring. Also, I'm working on a big project called Eric Floyd's Legendary Ladies of Stage with Dionne Warwick,
Nice.
Dame
Oh.
Shirley Bassey,
Oh.
Wow.
and Frida Payne. The three of them together. They're all three octogenarians. They've never had a tour before where three women over 80 years old have ever worked together.
Wow.
Shirley Bassey is 87, Dionne Warwick is 83, and Frida Payne, her legendary showbiz mom, is 81 years old.
Wow.
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 They're brilliant.
Blessings to
We want to
them.
start in Las Vegas and then take it around the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I guess one of the questions that I would think of is how is it touring overseas after the COVID-19 pandemic? Like, because obviously they weren't doing that during COVID, and now that that's open, is it like a surge of people buying tickets, and what's that like?
To the concerts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for people coming out, and is it different after COVID or because I know as soon as we got out of COVID here in the States, I mean, tickets were going like crazy everywhere.
Mhm.
It's the same premise overseas.
Yeah.
COVID, the whole vaccine and all that jazz, people said, well, you can't tour without the vaccine, and that was a lie. When you go to get on the airplane to go overseas,
All they want is a current COVID test.
so they'll test you before you get on the plane, period. You wait 15 minutes in the waiting room, and if you're negative, you fly. If you're positive,
You don't.
you don't. They don't care about a card. It means nothing to them.
Right.
Our crowds overseas, because she headlines arenas and stadiums and festivals, the smallest crowd is usually about 12 to 15,000 people. But the average crowd is about 40 to 50,000 people. And if you look at our YouTube channel, Goddess Empire Entertainment, you'll see Moscow, 100,000 people, Tallinn, Estonia, 200,000 people, which was the largest audience she's ever had.
Wow.
Norway, 80,000 people. So what's changed for us is really not much and nothing. We've always led a very healthy lifestyle. And so we sometimes, if the stage, I guess the makeup of the stage will allow us to go into the audience, sometimes we will come down the stairs and shake hands and sign autographs, and while still performing, because we know it's their moment. They've been waiting sometimes for years to see us.
Yeah.
And in the audience, there's teenagers to people who are our age and older, because they bring their children, and their children bring their children and grandchildren and everything. So it's a beautiful thing.
What's funny for us is that when we started off, we were in our 20s, and the dances we had were in their 20s. Then we hit our 30s, we got to get new dances. The dances are in their 20s.
Still in their 20s.
Then we hit our 40s, and the dances are still in their 20s. Dances are still in their 20s. Now in the 60s, the dances are still in their 20s.
Oh God.
A grandparent to these dances.
What about this new tour that you're I mean, that's obviously like of your thinking or your mentality of these older crowds, or I don't even know if it's older crowds, but older performers. Let's be real.
There's someone
right?
between 50 years old and deaf.
They're audience too.
Well,
Teens
I
and
mean-
tweens and 20s and 30s and 40s. Yeah.
You know why? It's because in Europe and in Asia and in South America, everything old is new again. They don't
Yes.
throw their artists
Mm.
away.
Yes.
Right.
They-
Only here in this country with
Right.
the microwave mentality, we
That's
go,
right.
oh shit, that song is 5 years old. I'm not looking for them. They don't do that over
The
there.
Europeans support you for life
Correct.
as an artist.
I guess
We're
I'm
How do
in
we
it.
get
I
that?
like old music.
How do we
Right.
get that? How do we get that mentality into the States?
Whew.
Mm. Well, I got it.
They want it now.
Right.
And due to the internet, everybody's a star. And then it's
Yep.
internet.
Mhm.
And it's like,
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like they want it, but they don't want it. So they'll take a song like "Best of My Love" by the Emotions
Right.
and create "You My Little Boo Thing."
Yeah.
I mean, but it's the same
Right.
song. Somebody's
Exactly.
rapping over it, and they do it all the time. But they don't want the artists. Like Diana Ross has had a hit record
Mhm.
since 1980's "Endless Love." How long ago was 1980? Exactly. Does
Damn,
she
I
need
was
it?
born.
I was
sells
sick.
out.
Around the world.
Right.
So since you're doing all of these, have you ever been nervous, or is that just out the door by now?
No.
No.
I'm comfortable on stage.
Are you the
It's
most
like-
comfortable on stage?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As opposed to the bedroom?
Well,
This is regular. This is regular life. This is, you know, regular life.
You
You
funny.
need to think about it, right?
Well, think about it.
it's still fun to me.
A pilot doesn't get nervous to fly a plane, and a
Right.
taxi driver doesn't get nervous to drive a cab, because it's what we do for a living.
Mhm.
Even though, don't tell anybody, we would do it for free if we had to. But still, because
For yourself.
we love it, never give away what you can sell.
Right.
Because we love it so much, we're never nervous. But yes, we have brought family or friends
Yeah.
with us, and they stand on the side of the stage and they look at a sea of heads, like 80 or 90,000 people in a stadium, and they're like, are you okay, Wanda? And we're like, we're fine.
How about you?
You need to lay down because you're about to faint.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Y'all have a beautiful life, it seems, and God bless you. And
Thank you.
that's
God bless you.
inspiration. It really is. Like,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
the success and all of that is an inspiration. And thank you for being
you.
here and
Yes,
letting
thank
us see
you.
that certain things
Oh,
are
Thank
possible.
you guys for
Thank
just
you for
staying
asking us.
together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this is what we needed. This is what we needed for Black History Month. This is how you start the month.
Yes.
This is how you start the
Oh.
month. Okay.
And can I just say something?
Oh.
Yeah.
Eric, we love you, but like Wanda,
Yeah, there we go.
I love it.
we love you, Eric, but like Wanda, can you pan back into the picture a little better? Because I want everybody to see just how amazingly beautiful this woman is at the right
My
time.
goodness,
Like, over
right?
60,
My
like, look
goodness.
at this woman.
Okay.
I'm like,
They both
son,
look good. They both look good. Come on now.
I gotta stop this here, huh?
You know, it's amazing when you drink formaldehyde shakes, what can happen to you? You know,
I need the recipe, Wanda. I need the recipe. I need the formaldehyde shit.
Lots of sex. Good sex.
you know why? Because a good man is hard to find, but a hard man is good to find.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Well, all right. We want to thank Wanda D and Eric Floyd for coming out, you know, giving us laughs and giving us blessings and giving us joy for this program. And everybody else, hey gurus, this is the Lady Guru Show. And we are out of here.
Peter.
Bye.
Thank y'all. Thank
Bye,
y'all so much.
guys.
That was awesome.
Thank you.